to be brief, is what we call an incorporation of a standard form of a constitution which is under our Companies Act. It details so many provisions that you don't have to rewrite them and have a voluminous document. So we've incorporated that because it's a standard document. Secondly, there is what they call a code of corporate governance. A code, amateka gayo, I don't know how to describe corporate governance. Governance corporate level. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
You can't help us.
So they, yes, help me whenever. Yes. There is that code to incorporating the kubanga mumateka company nga UPRS enokubeera nga adopting a code ye governing aba director batambula batya meetings zaabwe zibeera zitya babeera bameka. So that code has to be complied with, and every year UPRS reporting that to Capital Markets Authority on how you're performing under that code. So in a code to incorporate in the constitution, we have incorporated it in the constitution. There are a few definitions in there which are standard, which have been incorporated. The other aspect Chemugendo Kulaba is recognition of the Uganda Companies Act. The Federal Companies Act was amended in 2012. So we've tried to update articles that were 2006. So it was updating to comply with the 2012 Act. So Mugenda Kulabanga, there is a lot of reference to that act in that constitution. Tutademu requirements for the board to approve a member, a person who applies to become a member. Mulimu, see, the board will have, you have to satisfy certain requirements. If you're in a copyright, you have an ID, you can be identified, and you have a record proof of that ownership of that copyright. Tuongedemu responses from members into UPRS, but the UPRS has been taking over all rights. There's been a lot of complaints about what UPRS has and what it doesn't. So what we have just provided is that it's an option. You choose what rights you want the society to administer. And if you want to go to a certain extent, you can take all the rights. That is the standard even in other CMOs. The other article that you're going to see is on termination. There was no provision on termination of your membership. So we have provided for notice that if you want to terminate your membership, you can give a written notice to UPRS, but also UPRS has a right to terminate a member, and we have detailed a procedure for that. That they will give you a notice that the reasons are given. You're indisciplined or you're not acting in the best interests of the society, because this is a voluntary engagement. We've also provided for death. There was no provision for what happens in case a member dies. What happens? We noticed that there were some cases where you have people who but the law has processes assets how they are supposed to move. So we have incorporated that so that UPRS the right person, they are taking over the copyright benefits of that person, and the process is also here. The benefits, the rights. You have some children who have copyright. They are not like fresh kid. He's not a member, but he's one of the children. But they have copyright. So atagasobola contracting. There is a legal process for that. So we have provided that such children should have guardianship orders from the people who are who are taking care of them. So there's a guardianship orders UPRS zebayetaga. Ichache tuongedemu is the concept of virtual meetings. One of the challenges that was because of your numbers, it's not easy to mobilize now COVID, but it was not going to be easy to mobilize this meeting. So we have made provision for virtual meetings, and your constitution is supposed to allow for it. So to chat demo that you can have those meetings, and the process is given in there. Ekirala kye twadustinze is the question of quorum. Quorum yamwe ebadde 2/3, which is about 60% of membership. Naye from the record and even in other CMOs, kibeera kizibu okuba mobilizing because of the nature of your industry. So the engagements that we had with members, the proposal was 100 people. So if you want to participate, this is your company, this is your interest, you have to attend. But quorum is going to be 100 people to have a meeting. The next aspect is the board of directors. This is very critical and I beg for your attention. But board to minimize to reducing the number to 11 directors. This is as per international standards. The bigger the board, the harder it is to do business. So the smaller the board, the better. To taking into account interests of our members, into representation, different categories of members. So with that in mind, and consultation with members, narrowing that down to 11 directors. Chetwongeddemu is a mixture of skills on this board, a blend. Different skills, finance, marketing, legal, leadership, communication, planning. Like my colleague said, UPRS is an institution which needs to make money for its members. We have proposed that to qualify to be a director when you're a member, you must have been registered with UPRS for not less than 3 consecutive years. That's the proposal. We have proposed an addition of independent directors. The independent directors are the ones that may support the blend of skills, the suggesting is other people who may have the skills that are not only music or the skills that are not only business that may be useful to UPRS. So we have proposed that you have a minimum of a bachelor's degree in business and other related fields. You must have passed 2 principal passes at your A level, and you must have credits in English and mathematics. And you must be of reputable character, high moral standard. You must not be bankrupt. You must not have been convicted of financial related crime, because this is financial management. You must be of sound mind, and above 18 years of age. If you have demonstrated expertise and experience relevant to UPRS activities, that's an added advantage. The proposed term of directors is 3 years with eligibility for re-election for 1 more term. It has to adjust. We have proposed a board nomination process because of the number of the members, for people to have, for people to know their directors. I think part of the feedback that we got was that people did not even know who the board members were and how they were elected. So we have proposed a board nomination process, which is in there, which should happen in time towards the next AGM.